Hello, today we are going to explain endothermic and exothermic reactions. As we know, chemistry is all about reactions and one of the most important are the ones including heat. Let's start with some basic concepts. Graphs. The reaction shifts from the left side to the right side and vertical column shows the potential energy. The highest point is known as activation energy. Activation energy is the minimum amount of energy required to start a reaction. At this point, a transition state occurs, so the bonds of the reactants are partially broken and partially formed. Another important factor is the heat energy change, abbreviated as delta H.
Delta H is the difference between the sum of delta H of products and the sum of delta H of reactants.
Now, let's start with endothermic reaction. Endo is a Greek prefix which means within or absorbing, and thermic is referred to energy or heat. So, the whole name means absorbing of heat reaction. Reactants, in order to be converted into products, need a certain amount of energy. They take the energy of reactants and then this energy is found in products. Delta H is always positive in this kind of reactions.
Now, let's have a look at the graph. As we said before, the reaction shifts from the left side to the right side. In this graph, reactants have a lower potential energy than the products. From the formula, we can find that the delta H is positive. Activation energy is high, so more energy is needed to process these reactions. In our daily life, photosynthesis, sweat, cold packs, and cooking are types of endothermic reactions. Now, let's do an experiment about endothermic reaction. We put around 50 milliliters of vinegar and we use the thermometer to see the temperature. Then, we add 20 grams of baking soda and again we use the thermometer. Now, it's clear that the temperature decreased. The next reaction is exothermic. Exo is a combination form of external and outside. This means that this type of reaction can be also called releasing of heat reaction. Bonds that are broken down form new products, also an amount of energy. Let's have a look at the graph. Reactants have a higher potential energy than the products. This means their difference is negative, therefore delta H is negative. This type of reaction happen at a very short time, since the difference between the activation energy and potential energy of reactants is not that high. In our daily life, cellular respiration, hot packs, combustion are types of exothermic reactions. The next experiment is about exothermic reaction. We use steel wool, we put it in the vinegar, and we use the thermometer to see its temperature. After that, we separate the steel wool from the vinegar and we measure its temperature. It's clear that the temperature increased.